Cool, guys. So nice and simple. Today is our front split. Today is the last day we're going to be doing front split. Okay. So effectively, what we're going to do is, as always, we're going to warm up, and the warm up is going to require us to hopefully sit up. Okay. So whether you got a couch or a stool or whatever kind of thing, it's preferred. The reason being, I want you to simply just sit on this guy. So we take the hip out of the equation. Okay. And all we're going to do is we're going to connect our breath and spine. So we're still going to start with softening the spine, moving the spine as always. And we're going to try connect that to our breath as well. Now, this is going to be very straightforward. Okay. All we're going to do here is we're going to look to flex the spine. So we're going to look to make our spine, okay, as big as possible by rounding and whatnot. Now, we're also going to use our hands, our shoulders to assist with this. Okay. So look at my thumbs. As I breathe in, okay, so as I breathe in, I'm going to get small. I'm going to tuck my chin into the chest. I'm going to turn my thumbs down, trying to kind of wrap my shoulder blades around, do everything, okay, to make my spine nice and big. This is similar to that cow position, okay? Now from here, as I breathe out, I'm going to try arch, lift, okay, and extend my back as much as possible. Okay, so it's going to be very hard to just dump into the lower back because we seated down, but still trying to lift the spine up. Okay, the sternum is coming up to the ceiling. My head's going back. And again, I'm using my hands. Look at my hands. Okay, my thumbs are turning out and back in order to squeeze the shoulder blades. Okay, and again, make everything on the back of the spine a little bit small. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to spend 3 minutes, which sounds quite a long time, but okay, it isn't. Okay, we're going to spend 3 minutes just kind of flowing from one to next position. Now, we want to make sure you're doing this while marrying this with the breath. Okay, so one more time. As I breathe in, I'm going to get myself big. As I breathe out, I'm going to get myself small. Okay, through the spine. Now, the key thing here is, again, the shoulder rolls. Okay, the shoulder blades actually moving on your rib cage, and obviously the rest of the body. Okay, so Nathan's going to put 3 minutes on the clock for us. Seated down, hopefully. Okay. From here, 3, 2, 1. So slowly breathing in, making itself big. Okay, happy for you to pause a little bit in the end ranges, just to kind of reach a little bit further. Make sure you're moving your hands.
And that's 3 minutes.
Okay, just finishing that off. Okay. From there, onto our feet. Okay, nice and straightforward, nothing too crazy. And what we're gonna do is just kind of go with the head a little bit. Okay, just quickly go through some joint rotations. Then we'll go straight into our front split prep work, some strength work, and then finish with some front splits, okay? So just starting with the head, nothing too crazy, nice and smooth circular motion. So chin comes down to the chest, to the armpit, to the shoulders, looking up, okay, and arriving down to the starting position again. So make sure you are just taking it smooth, nothing crazy. It helps to have your eyes open so you can look and set yourself a little target. Ooh, switch sides. Finishing it off. Okay, from here, nice and simple. Okay, hands onto the hips. All we're gonna do is, okay, we're gonna stand on one foot. We're gonna lift the legs up, okay, spare leg up a little bit. And all we're gonna do is nice and easy, just ankle rotation. So imagine your big toe is like a pen, and I wanna draw a big kick-ass circle as possible, just at the ankle joints. We're not just moving the legs like so, okay? It's nice and sturdy. Obviously, the standing leg is stable, guys, okay? And then from there, let's change those circles. Okay. Isn't very glamorous work, but it's important. From here, we'll go to the other side, nice and simple. Okay, leg into circle. Okay, choosing one direction you want to work with. And again, you may hear a lot of cracking and popping and whatnot. It's all good, guys. Okay, obviously pain isn't. And what you may start to kind of notice is, just feel a little bit uncoordinated sometimes in one side. Okay. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. Okay, change directions. Really just kind of focusing on moving at the ankle joint. Okay, that's the key. Okay, cracking for me in one spot. It's amazing. Okay, shake it off. And we're going to go into our hips, but to do this, we're going to be onto our backs, okay? So what we're going to do here, guys, a little bit different than normal, okay? We're going to be laid up on our back, and all we're going to do is, lower back is on the ground, our legs are going to be bent up in the air, okay? From here, all we're going to do is, we're going to draw these little circles, okay? Now notice, I'm rotating it slightly at the knees, but really the hips are kind of working here as well. Okay, we're just going to go for 30 seconds of one direction and 30 seconds of the other direction. Again, just be mindful. Okay, it's not about how fast can you get in there or how many reps can you get in there. It takes a little bit of coordination, just to be patient with it. Okay, Nathan will just tell us, okay, when 30 seconds happens, and we'll just switch sides for 30 seconds. Okay, so if everybody's cool, we're going to be onto our back. Okay, and we're just going to start nice and slow. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, sometimes it helps to look, okay, what the legs are doing. It sounds weird, okay? So essentially, we're creating a circle, okay? Just getting the hips to move, the knees to kind of move a little bit.
Well, that's 30.
Okay, let's change. Okay. Outward circle feels way
And
easier.
30.
And rest. So outward circle feels way easier than the in circle. Okay, so from here, nice and straightforward, guys. Okay, we're gonna go straight into our front split prep work, starting from our feet up. So if you have a yoga block or a book, a cushion, whatever, okay, for us to be able to get into our tib stretch, that'd be ideal. As a reminder, tib stretch, tib is the muscle at the front of your shin. We just want to try and lengthen them out, okay? So this way we can point the toes better and whatnot. Now, what we're going to be doing is simply just placing the blocks back or whatever you're working with. And we're just going to look to put the laces of our feet onto this guy. We're going to go for a straightforward 1.5-minute work. Just a little reminder, the less of you on, the harder it becomes because the gap is bigger, okay? The more of you on there, slightly easier, okay? Now, if you can't even sit onto your heels, maybe we don't even need a yoga block, for instance, okay? So just be mindful. If everybody's good, let's get into the position. Tuck your hips in 3, 2, 1, okay? So we'll just simply sit here for 90 seconds. And with all these long holds, as always, you know, it's an opportunity for us to dive a little bit deep into, you know, what's happening, okay, in our body. And it changes, okay? So it's just wanting to stay with it, just notice what's happening. Hopefully these are feeling a little bit easier compared to obviously 4 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, sorry, okay? Remember, if you want to feel this a little bit more, just tuck your hips underneath you a little bit, just kind of fall back, okay? Obviously, if you want to regress it, then you would go the opposite way a little bit. Remember, the intent with all these long holds, again, is that we are able to sustain, okay? We can tolerate the load, the stretch for the prescribed time, which is 90 seconds, obviously, in this case. What I mean by that is if we have to keep shuffling and, you know, kind of repositioning ourselves, it probably means kind of we weren't in the right place to start off with, right? It's better to kind of just feel a, you know, lot less and then gradually build as opposed to feeling really intense at the start, because we know we can't finish it off like that. These are feeling good today.
And that's 90 seconds.
Okay, just hands in front of you, just lift your legs up and just maybe a little ankle circle just to kind of get blood back into those shins. And once you're ready, what we're going to do is we're going to get to plantar stretch, which is going to be the underside of the foot. And the way to do that is we're going to curl those toes and try come onto the ball joints of our feet. Okay, now from here, we're going to look to sit down for another 90 seconds. Again, if this is too hard, you can just simply put a yoga block, cushion, whatever, underneath your bum so your hip comes up a little bit to make it a little bit easier. But otherwise, let's have the time in 3, 2, 1. And again, first 5 to 10 seconds, just, you know, sit with it, just notice, you know, what's happening. We don't need to go searching for some intense loading, okay? That will happen as the time progresses. Okay, so if everything is feeling a-okay, then just bring your attention to your hips. Can you just tuck your hips a little bit underneath you? Can you posture up a little bit better without really, you know, arching our lower back or anything like that? And then can we connect the breath with the work? Oh yeah. I scared myself again this morning, just when I was brushing my teeth. This hair is getting ridiculous. Okay, I don't mind lockdown.
Shave it off. Shave it off.
I think I may have to. Oh my God. I had an Afro Mohican All the sides were compressed tight, and just the top bit, it was just disgusting. Front of the shins are probably burning right now, guys. That's okay. That's normal. Okay, your Tims are working hard to keep you strong and stable in this position. Okay, really trying to get into the ball movements for your feet.
And that's 90.
Again, falling forward, hands on the ground. Again, little circles, just to kind of get blood back in there. So we looked at the front of the shin. We looked at the under the feet. We're going to look at the back of the calves. Okay, now for this, guys, again, you know, a yoga block is ideal. If you need to go against the wall, let's do that. Okay, but if you have a dowel or anything like that, that'd be ideal. We're going to be stretching our calves. Now, today's proposition is this. We've been working, you know, from front on. Hopefully you can see this. Okay, my toes have been fairly straightforward. Okay, I'll go through the setup. Today, what we'll do is we'll go toes in a little bit. Okay, so okay, my hips are still going to be facing forward, but my toes are going to turn in ever so slightly. Okay, as always, hips are facing forward, and I'm going to be falling forward. Okay, so from the side view, this is really important to understand. Okay, once we have that set up from downstairs, from the feet, okay, we don't want to be struggling with balance here. This is why I've got a dowel. You may need a wall or anything like that. What we're going to be doing is this. Okay, we're going to be taking that hip through. Now, let me do it on the side so you can see better. So toes are turned in, and look, we're not falling forward or hinging at the hips. We're trying to take the hips through. Okay, tuck the bottom, okay, and that should come straight into the calf, okay, the gastrocs a little bit, okay. Again, 90 seconds per side. I'll talk you through it. We'll start the time in 3, 2, 1. So first and foremost, think about standing nice and tall. Tuck that pelvis, so again, that posterior tilt a little bit. That alone should give you a little bit more of a intense stretch to the calf, okay. You can then take that a little bit further by contracting your quads, so you can squeeze your thighs. And then that hip, okay, so the standing leg hip, can you drive that forward a little bit? Think Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, okay? Just a little bit. And then just breathe.
Halfway.
The quicker everybody gets vaccinated, the quicker they can go to hairdressers. If anybody said that, I think everybody get vaccinated. Oh, amazing.
Or just the quicker you can get into a pub, that would get the majority of the population.
What's this, like week 8? Yes, this is the week 8, huh? Week 8 lockdown.
Yeah, I think we start at week 9 tomorrow. And that's 90 seconds.
Slowly out of it. Shake your legs off. 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks, isn't it? All right, let's set up to the other side. Okay, remember the toes are turning in, okay? Bring that hip through. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Tuck the bottom, squeeze the thighs, and then just find that position initially where you can feel the stretch, okay, but obviously do the talk as well, right? So we can breathe through it. Just making sure the hips are square, okay, because it's very, very easy to stay twisted. And you may not feel a stretch as intense, okay, as one side. And that's okay to start off with too. Just slowly think about position. We want to be in a position to load certain structures up, okay? So don't start to crank your spine and things like that. You know it's getting serious when we're talking about COVID on a Friday morning. See, this hair thing is crazy. Okay, get that glutes on.
And
Slowly backing it off and shake it off. Okay, so from here, guys, what we're going to do is, okay, go straight into the back of the leg still. And for this, we're going to get into elephant walk. Okay, so hopefully most of you guys are aware what elephant walk is now. Just quickly running through. We can use the ground. However, if you're really tight and restricted through the hamstrings, it's much better to bring the ground up to you. And you can do that using, again, blocks. You can simply put your hand on a box or a couch or whatever kind of thing. Okay, but ultimately what we're going to do is this. Okay, we're going to be taking a very generous bend of the knees, and we're going to be looking to have, okay, that tummy onto the top of your thighs, making a good contact. Okay, from here we can just come onto fingertips, palms down, whatever feels good for you. You can set that standard for yourself. But what we're going to do is let the body get heavy, and then we're going to look to straighten one leg. Okay, squeeze the quad. We'll hold it there for count of 3 in our head, and then bend that knee back down, and then we'll go on to the other side. Again, looking to lock and hold for 3 seconds, and then boom, coming down. We're going to alternate sides. Now, the biggest thing that we've been focusing on here is when we do look to straighten the legs, we really want to intentionally try and maintain that contact with the torso and your thighs at all times. Okay, that may not be true all the time, but the intention needs to be there. Okay, the reason being we get to work a little bit of compression and then really force to get into the structures, especially behind the knees, okay, the stuff that crosses the knee joint. You'll definitely feel this through the hamstring, maybe even the calf, okay? And again, depending on how tight or restricted you are, you're gonna feel it in slightly different places along that, okay, chain. So 2 minutes is what we're gonna go for, okay? So if everybody's okay, let's kind of get down. Okay, Nathan's gonna put 2 minutes on the clock for us. Feet don't have to be touching together, guys. They can be a little bit wide. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Lock and hold for 3, 2, 1. Bend it. Then switch sides. Lock it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, as the body does yield, which you will, okay, try fall a little bit more forward in that 3-second hold. So maybe get a little bit heavier onto the fingertips or the palm. Okay. So as you push your hips back or push your knees back, you actually fall forward. And that keeps the load directly over the heel if possible. Okay, and that line of pull, you'll definitely feel a little bit more intensely. As always, working with breath as well here, guys.
halfway. Three, 2, and 1.
Slowly standing nice and tall, maybe rolling that spine up. Okay. So the last long hold we're going to work on, guys, is our super couch. Okay. And the way we're going to do this, again, we will need to use a wall, or in my case, a box, maybe a couch, literally a couch for the couch stretch. Okay. Okay, so a couple of things here just with this as well. If you're using the wall, you may not have any options but to kind of really put the laces of your feet down. If you have a couch, you can see, okay, my shins or my laces of my feet, my ankles are not going to come into play as much, but I'm going to still get into this space. So just be mindful, depending on what you're using, okay, you are definitely going to feel everything through the front of your thighs, But there's an added benefit of when you're on the wall, you get into the laces of your feet as well. Okay, so that tib area, the ankle, that sort of thing. Okay, now, okay, quickly running through the cues. Remember, the knees are fairly close to the box or the wall, whatever you're working with. Now, as we posture up, the key detail is this. We want to make sure our torso is vertical, okay? But it is very, very easy, okay? Most people, me included, we're super tight from the front. And what tends to happen is, look at this. I posture up by, okay, dumping into my lower back, and I think I'm being tall. This is not tall. This is just arching your back. So if this is the case, then it's better to slightly back the knees away from the wall, box, couch, whatever you've got, and then find that tall position. Because from here, then we can do a lot of different things that just targets this stuff here, okay, without pissing the knees off too much, or the low back in this case, okay? So make sure you listen to your body and get the setup right. Knees a little bit close or further away, depending on where you can stack your torso, okay? So if everybody's happy, let's just kind of get into that first position, okay? So knees as close as possible. Torso is nice and vertical without cranking the back up. Okay, so from here, guys, what we're going to get into, pretty straightforward. Okay, we're going to go into 2 minutes work here as well. Okay, this is a slightly longer time. First minute, we're going to try to get the bum back towards the back heel. Okay, so we're pushing ourselves back using the front leg. In the second minute, when Nathan says a minute, we're going to be driving the front knee forward and then trying to drive that back hip down in front of us towards the ground. Okay, so we're hitting 2 different places with the same stretch. Okay, if everybody's ready, we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for the first minute, we're looking to push ourselves back onto the heels. Okay, and again, you may feel a slight pull already. That's cool. And this is more kind of to the belly of the quads, if you like, the belly of the thighs. Well, it'll depend on how restricted you are. As always, it helps to kind of maybe reach back just to find, you know, where things are, okay? I actually like to put my hands in between my bum and my heel just to kind of see and notice what distance I am this morning and then work with that. So that gives me a little bit of a tangible feedback, okay, or a target to try close down. Remember, you're not arching your back to go back. Keep your ribs down a little bit. And again, you can use the front leg to really push back. Keep the hips square. Here we go. Slowly driving the hip forward, keeping that torso nice and vertical still. Glutes are on the back. Okay, so, and you may need to make those micro adjustments from the front leg. So you may need to move that front leg a little bit more forward. Hips are still facing forward. Okay, so if you think you're at the end range, just put your hands on the hips. And then look to kind of, you know, push the back hip forward and pull the front hip back. Sounds really weird, but effectively, just to kind of make sure you're not twisted. Okay, and it's a very subtle change. And you may feel that pull come through more the middle. Okay, you will change, you will feel the fibers. Okay, different fibers come into play a little bit. Glutes are still working on the back leg.
And time.
Slowly back it off. Okay. And just shake your limbs off. Okay, just make sure the blood flowing and also those limbs belong to you again. And if you're good, let's set up for the other side. Same thing again. Let's have the knees as close as possible. Okay, but as we posture up, make sure the spine is not compensating. Okay, we'll start the time in 3, 2, 1. So the first initial minute is about pushing ourselves back onto the heels. Now, again, you can use your hand as a tangible feedback. You can place it, you know, onto the wall, couch, or maybe even between your bum and heels, just to kind of see where you're at. Rib cage is down. Okay. In this long hold, it's quite nice to kind of just think about 3 things, which is, you know, where you're feeling tension from, Can you breathe into that area? Okay, nice, long, slow. And then looking to make refinements. What happens if you make subtle change, you know, coming laterally or maybe pushing back or, you know, twisting certain way. And it's very, very subtle. So treat it like a skill. You know, you're trying to create more awareness. And the only way to do that
halfway
is by being in control. Here we go. Okay, so driving that hip forward, just slow and gradually. Glutes are on. Again, making any micro adjustments that you need to from the front leg to accommodate that. Hands on the hip, just so you can start to play with the position. And again, that may change the stretch ever so slightly.
and time.
Slowly back it off. And wow. Beautiful. Okay. See it off. Okay, so from here, we're going to be just using the ground. Okay. Let me just quickly check on this. That's beautiful. Okay, so from here, we're going to go into our hips. Okay, so our external and internal rotation at the hip joint. So again, this is integral. Okay, when we have the legs back or legs in front of us at our front split, obviously the hip joint is going to be doing something else in the socket itself. Okay, so just getting into the hip rotators. Okay, we've been working on our seated piriformis. So this guy here, step through and reaching. Okay, we're going to continue working on that. So just as an offset, just as you guys know, if we can't simply get into this position and do this, then this is probably not the right thing for us. Okay, it's better to do this leaning against the wall, or better yet, just choosing a different progression, something like 90-90, okay, hinging forward to feel it through the front butt. This is going to be far superior than having to fight tooth and nail just to kind of, you know, stay in this position. Okay, so that being said, for 90 seconds, let's kind of do the seated piriformis, which is going to be, okay, so remember Simon says, so our right leg in front of us, we're going to take the left leg then in front of that leg, okay? From here, right hand swims across the front of the left, and then I'm going to grab the back of the tricep. I'm looking at the left wall, okay? And my intention is to slowly plant the legs, reach down, okay? We'll go in 3, 2, 1. So I've got a really strong bind, okay, around my knees, okay, from my hands into the back of the tricep. I'm breathing. I'm reaching that right hand to the left wall. Okay, so I'm proactively creating tension here. The lower my shoulder wants to go to the ground, the more I have to pull that left knee with me, obviously, without falling. Left leg is planted onto the ground as firmly as possible. Okay, the right leg is at 90 degrees, roughly. And make sure we're breathing.
And that's 90 seconds.
Slowly back it off. Okay, unwind yourself. You can shake it off if you want. Okay, and let's go to the other side. So left leg will be at 90 degrees. We're going to take that right leg across. Okay, from here, the left hand swoops across. We're going to grab that left tricep with that right. Look at the right wall, reach the right wall with your left hand. Start the time in 3, 2, 1. And just like everything else that we've been doing this morning, guys, okay? Nothing needs to be cranked straight off the bat. Allow yourself to settle down for 5 to 10 seconds, and then slowly, in control, make those little adjustments. And that could simply be by making, okay, or paying more attention to your breath as you breathe out. So you can, as the body yields, you can drop a little bit further. It could simply be by thinking about, are you rooted to the ground with that left feet? Okay.
And 90 seconds.
The 90 seconds?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, so from here, guys, okay, our last work on the hips before we go into some strength protocols, okay, is very, very simple, our internal rotation. And the internal rotation, what we're going to do here, okay, is simply get ourselves into this 90-90 position, okay? Now, from here, remember the 2 key things is to make sure the spine is long no matter where it is, and everything is happening at the crease of the hips. That is to say, no one should be feeling things through the obliques. So no one should be feeling this, you know, kind of obliques cramping up or twisting from the rib cage and that sort of thing, okay? Looking from the back or side a little bit, okay? Some of us may be really tight and we may need to be back here, okay? And ground is your best friend. Use your hands well. You can use the hands to literally get that spine a lot longer. This is going to be better because this is going to allow you to get into where we need to. Okay, obviously, slowly, gradually, we can start to posture up, okay, and start to rotate a little bit. So effectively, we're using our own torso to pull ourselves more into what we call internal rotation, okay? But that is very, very delicate. So again, you have to be precise, okay? Let me go to the other side. So 90 seconds, nice and simple. Let me talk you through it, okay? So back leg is what we're working. We're gonna posture up, okay? We'll start the time in 3, 2, 1. Push your back leg into the ground as hard as possible. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To release the muscles you just use. So you just relax, but still the hands are firm on the ground. Now, you may be able to rotate a little bit more at the hips. Maybe you can posture up a little bit better. Okay, so you get to find a slightly new position. Okay, so again, looking at the legs, imagine the butt and the back is going to touch the ground by posterior tilt and then squeeze the thighs and then smash the shin into the ground for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just release wherever you were tensing. Okay, but make sure you're propped up nice and tall. Maybe now you can get into a slightly different position. Okay, and it's very, very subtle. Okay, maybe it's more of a forward, maybe it's more of a rotation. Maybe it's a combination of both. Okay, let's go one more time. Just push down as hard as possible. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release everything. Again, keep that posture nice and tall. Moving at the hip joint.
"90 seconds.
Slowly back out of it. Oh, yeah. And we'll go to the other side. Okay, so again, Nice and tall. Okay, hands supported. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Again, you may already have, you may notice one side is a little bit better than the other side. Again, that's okay. Just making sure we're applying same principles on both sides. So spine is tall and everything's coming at the hip joint, okay? So let's take our first smash. We're gonna push our legs down hard for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release everything. And maybe now we get a little bit of a movement. Okay,
Otto, try to be more upright and face towards your left. So you're leaning back too much. Sit up and face towards your left, which is towards the TV or the screen. Like rotate. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's take another smash quickly. Push down. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again. Okay, so this side is a little bit better for me. I can get both my hands outside my back leg. Still keeping the spine nice and tall, keeping yourself honest. Okay. You may get a cramping sensation from top of the hips. Okay. Maybe literally just overloading areas that normally don't get to work and are struggling to work. Okay.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Release and rest. Whoa. Okay. Quick drink of water, guys. Okay. We'll quickly go into just 2 movements that we're going to bang out. Okay. And then today, we're going to just spend some time in passive state for a minute per side. And we're going to look to do that 2 times per side. Okay. So the strength work we're going to do is single-legged mornings and a long step knee raises, okay? Both are going to be 5 by 5 seconds, okay? So last week we played with a slightly different protocol for the single-legged mornings, okay? But today we're going to keep things very, very simple. Just 2 sets, 5 by 5 seconds per side. That's effectively collecting or accumulating 25 seconds time under tension at the end ranges, okay, per set. And then we're going to use that and go into more of a passive hold. So today we're going to look to just kind of actually get into a position and just spend some quality time in those end ranges, okay? So nice and straightforward. What we need is a little, okay, stool, bench, box, whatever you've got, just to kind of help us keep ourselves honest, okay? It's going to be there to support us a little bit. Back a little bit. Now remember, again, this is very, very adaptive, okay? So as the body yields, make those micro adjustments during your rest period. And that often looks in the shape of, maybe moving the front leg a little bit further forward, okay? Maybe the back leg goes a little bit further back, okay? So remember, with this, there's 3 vectors we're working in. We're going to come up, then we're going to look to drive our knees forward as we drive the heels back, okay? And the third and last vector we're looking to kind of do is obviously bring the hips down to the ground, okay? So just a little reminder, just watch this quickly. What I'm going to say is 3, 2, 1. We're going to come up. And remember, when we come up, the hips ever so slightly come up to lift the back knee up. And we're driving. Again, the most important thing is the back leg as well. Back leg is being extended back because of your butt on the back leg, okay? So there's a lot of activation work happening here. And the analogy that we've been using is dimmer switch. Slowly, okay, intensify as the 5 second goes up, as opposed to launching yourself up in that first second or so, okay? If everybody's ready, let's get into the position. Nice and tall. But the spine always stays tall, not hinging forward. Okay, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Lift. Drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift. Drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift. Drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift. Drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Down and rest. Okay, we'll go to the other side. Okay, remember the hips still have to be square. Think about your super couch. Okay, movement. Okay, the plantar first surface. Okay, is being stretched and loaded. So again, balls of your feet need to be strong here. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, boom. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down and rest. Okay, so from here, we're going to go into our single leg good mornings. Okay, so we're going to be on our feet. And it helps to have something tangible like, again, okay, like a box wall, something like that. They can push your heels again, just to keep yourself a little bit honest. The other thing here is, this will tell you whether you're okay, shifting your weight back as well. Because the intention is this, we're going to be split stance. Okay, so one leg will be in front of the other. Again, it's not a tight wire rope, so making sure both legs are straight, okay, but in line with the hips. We're going to place one hand on the smaller back, one hand on the chest, just to keep the spine nice and long. And effectively what we're doing is this. We're going to be hinging at the hips. Be really mindful, guys, that you're not starting to round the back. So it's not about how low to the ground can you come with this, okay? It's about how far can you go in that vector straight ahead, okay? So think about the spine being elongated as opposed to curling and getting small like this, okay? 5 seconds is what we're going to hold per rep at the end, okay? So if you're ready, split stance, hand position on the spine, and we're going to hinge over. Take a pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hinge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4.
Keep our eyes up. Eyes looking straight ahead.
4, 3, 2, 5. And rest. Okay, let's change legs. Okay, and again, just think about those simple cues that we use in the super couch, you guys. Okay, around keeping the hips square. Again, it's very, very easy to twist with these unilateral work. Okay, so make sure you're pulling that front hip back and the back hip forward. Sounds really weird, okay? But you're effectively kind of squaring things up, okay? Here we go. Hands placement, eyes gaze forward, take a breath, and hinge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. And rest. Okay, so let's go straight into the long step. Okay, knee raises again, guys. Now again, okay, this is our last set, second and last set for today. Okay, same thing, 5 by 5 seconds. Looking to be adaptive, make those adjustments where you need to. Okay, here we go. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Down. Back it up. Let's change it up. Okay. Straight into it. Okay. Placing that back leg nice and strong. Posturing up, guys. Okay. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, boom. Down and rest. Okay. From here, straight into that single leg. Good mornings. Remember, 5 seconds, guys. Okay. Spine needs to be elongated here. Okay. So, heel against a solid surface. Take that split stance about hip distance apart. Hands placed on the spine. Eyes gaze forward. Breath in and hinge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. And let's change it up. Okay, so last one. Heels against. Okay, nice and strong. Hand placement. Eyes gaze to the other side of the room. Breath. And let's hinge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hinge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, boom. And drive on up and rest. Okay, so shaking it off, guys. What we're going to get into here, pretty straightforward. Okay, our last little piece of work is going to be oriented around holding an isometric hold for the front split. Okay, so the sun is blazing, so I'm not sure if you can see me. Hopefully, you can at least make out where I am and what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to be placing our knees onto the ground, which means you'll probably need something that's going to protect the knees. Okay, meaning like hopefully it's a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so maybe put a cushion underneath your knee. This is going to help you. Okay, especially if you're working on a hard floor. From there, we will need, again, something that we can, support ourselves or prop ourselves against. Okay, now this is really important. Now what we're going to be doing is this. Okay, so we're going to combine what we have been working on. So think about, okay, the back leg, okay, reaching as far as possible, but the knees are rested onto the ground. The laces of the feet on the back leg are also rested, okay? From here, we're gonna slowly look to, okay, straighten that front leg, okay, and making sure the hips are nice and square. I'm gonna simply look to posture up and hang out in this nice, okay, front split position, okay? Now again, some of us may be a lot higher, and that's okay. Your back leg, okay, your back knee is on the ground for that reason, and think about it as if you are effectively doing this extended variation of super couch, okay, the variation we finished on. And like the long hold, what we have to be mindful of here is if it's intense, super intense in the first 10 seconds or so, we probably can't hold it for a full minute, okay? And that's what we're aiming for, a full minute per side, okay? So if everybody's raring to go, okay, let's get this on. So the best way, okay, to get into this, okay, front leg is straight, okay, onto our heels. You can relax the toes, obviously, okay, get that back knee. And again, you can start to hinge forward ever so slightly to kind of get into the position and then have your base of support ready. From here, we'll start the time in 3, 2, 1. As we do this, we should be posturing up here. Okay, and again, looking to kind of make sure your hips are nice and square. Okay, and as if your body yields, obviously you can make those micro adjustments. Okay, I would suggest having your back butt on ever so slightly. That's going to protect the lower back as well. Okay. Can you give us halfway, please, Nathan?
You're at 45 seconds.
Beautiful. Just making sure we're nice and square here, guys. And again, using our breath to control the whole thing.
And that's a minute.
Slowly, okay, exiting, okay. Exit strategy is always up to you, okay. Without tearing anything would be the ideal way. Okay, last side, last minute, guys. Okay, so again, I find it a little bit easy to lean forward, get the front leg in place by, obviously toes and knees locked out. And then from there, we're gonna slowly posture up. We'll start the time in 3, 2, 1. Okay, make sure the back butt is on. Okay.
Halfway. And time.
Slowly. Strategy is up to you. And that is it, good people. Come on over. Shake your legs off. Let's make sure those limbs belong to you. How are we feeling? You good?
Yeah, that was good.
Nice.